Welcome to Oh Brother, a podcast of three brothers trying to figure it all out, with your hosts Brandon, Collin, and Aaron. On this week's show, opinions on fractions.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. What happened to 8:45?
It's close enough. Don't at me, bro.
It's only 8:49. It's fine.
Rounding error.
Not on schedule.
It's fine. I'm not really schedule-y.
Oh.
Yeah, how's it going?
What a week.
Woot.
Oh,
Oh, well, I mean,
Go on.
not a whole lot of new stuff, I guess. Just been nationally and internationally, the news has been a bit exhausting.
Oh, okay.
yeah. So we'll just skip over that.
Yeah, so
we wanna make people
happy.
some escapism here, so we won't bring up too much of that.
No.
Just to know that we are incredibly distressed.
Yeah, and well aware of what's going on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So
Ugh.
no in a shock to nobody within the department, there'll be no pay for performance increases this year.
No.
You don't say. Like, I don't even know why they had to send out an email about that. I was just like, really, you wasted the time to send this email.
We all saw the governor's news months ago that budgets for the state were going in the toilet, basically. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we all saw that coming. Like,
Yeah, there's no reason.
Well,
There's no-
someone in our administrative decided it was a good idea to close the Pahuska office for the next 3 to 6 months. So I don't have so they're doing random closings of DHS offices around the state, but they're keeping a few open. So I will actually be technically housed out of the Washington County, which is a little bit nicer because it's literally like a few blocks away from where I live.
was it really?
But I'm still
Hey,
I'm still
What?
what's the word? I'm still, directed to work from home as much as possible, but only go up there like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
But it's still a little bit tedious since all, the other places I have to go to are like an hour away.
Well,
So,
yes, but the office is within walking distance. That's helpful, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but it just makes it a little nice. But yeah, I got a little phone call from my supervisor. Like, hey, I don't know. They literally just texted me. The closing our office and a few other offices to quote unquote save stuff from the office on Monday. I was like, oh, okay, so I'll go up to the office Monday and get my desk stuff, I guess. And then there was a few follow-up emails that are like, now if you want to take your desk chair, you can, but no trading. Take your desk chair. And another email, it's like you can take the monitors home with you because we have 2 monitors on our desk. But
what's up?
But the district supervisor was like, no, you can only take one monitor, only one. Like,
Of course, district
I want
supervisor.
both, but
I like how that's your. Well, now I'm not even gonna bother.
but yeah, so
Get it.
apparently everyone will be getting state laptops, which I don't know how that's going to work because every other laptop I've seen are from like 2010.
Well, it's going to be a secondhand IBM from some company in
Yeah.
Tulsa, and it's going to
Right.
have some doing. And anytime you try to go to like a random website, it's going to be like, no, not allowed. Sorry.
Yeah, so they also instructed that you cannot take notes at home. You can only take notes like via electronically, and
You mean like
well,
on
you
you can't do it on paper?
you cannot do it on paper. You
Okay.
cannot have any excess documentation, which
Right.
about 80% of my job pretty much revolves around paperwork. And so much like you want us to go like full digital. Like I'm barely having problems sending emails to different counties. Like how am I supposed to like what do you want me to do? So they send a list. It's like, well, you you can download, you can use voice to text. Happen. All right, we'll see how that works. So I think they're gonna be trying to do field work or get
Like
back on the schedule.
Google Docs has a pretty robust text
Yeah,
to
but
speech
then
thing
just
or speech to text thing. So
weird. And
But is
I mean,
it
that's true, but
is it approved
because then I have to
security
go to the
wise?
field.
eh.
No idea.
But if
But then I
you
have to
copy
go
paste it in, it's on
out to the
paper.
field and then take my notes and then go back to the office, drop my notes off, and then come home and not have any notes to work on anything. So like this is fun.
That does make typing notes difficult if
Yes.
you have to drop them at the office before you come home to
Yeah.
work on your
So
no.
apparently, I think I have to, and they said they will give us quote unquote desks at the other office, which I think by desks they mean like
Yeah, it's
fold
gonna
out
be a
table
table.
and a chair. It's gonna be a table, and so we will have space provided for all out of county workers to be
Ooh.
facilitated through our building. I was like, oh wow, it's gonna be a table.
Yes.
It's gonna be one of those small, really rinky dink tables from someone's bar mitzvah or wedding.
It's gonna be whatever tables
rented.
like people have in their garages. And
Yeah,
stuff.
so
There you go.
that'll
So
be
you're covering, like,
my
paint.
desk, but I'm instructed to work from home as much as possible,
Nice.
which I've already been doing. Because they're like, oh well, you need to get your stuff and do this. Like I haven't seen my desk in 2 months, so kind of forgot where it is already. But
You know, it's fine.
yeah. So that was my. I got hammered last week, case wise, and I've been playing catch up all this week. And then my supervisor called me. He's like, "Hey, just letting you know, just got a text, said this. Don't know any more information. Bye." And I was like, "Ah, cool, okay."
It's not helpful.
I don't have a physical place of work now. That's awesome. To call my own, but whatevs.
But you get to spend more time on your beloved couch.
I've been doing that for 2 weeks. Dang it.
Say, but there is a positive. So there's
There's
that.
a couch.
You have a couch.
Been watching a lot of Disney Plus videos, thanks to beloved brother Collin.
Aladdin,
No,
mostly.
no,
Oh.
it's been mostly like the Star Wars stuff.
Oh,
Been watching a lot of that and typing and calling people and just dealing with utter chaos. And so Shelby and myself are down in Oklahoma City this weekend. I worked today at her place. She had to go clean out her classroom, and so we are going to do some much needed vacationing from Bartlesville to Oklahoma City. Definitely doing some shopping. I'm in the market of a new laptop. I'll be doing some laptop searching, and then
all right.
spend some time with friends. We just got back from the quote unquote bougie part of Oklahoma City. We had this place.
Is that the brick city with the river?
No, this is the kind of close by downtown ish. A lot of there's one place that's like an open pavilion area and people and the catering trucks come by and then there was like another place where we just ate at in
all
which
the Monette food trucks are at a gas station. So
we had this place called the Gathering or no the Collective, sorry, and it's like an open. It's an area that has all these different restaurants in, and they're doing it actually kind of a really cool way. Like you go in, they seat you, and then they give you a menu with a little, and you have it on your phone, and you pull up which restaurant and the menu from that restaurant, and you order it from your phone, and then the waiters from that restaurant come to you, and
cool,
they bring
actually.
they bring you your food. Drinks were a little. My one sweet tea I had the about 2 hours that we were there was awesome. But they bring you like this really cool like glass water pitcher, and they have like cups, and you like pretty much fill yourself. But I was like, oh man, really really nice to have a sweet tea because it's outside and it's hot.
True.
But it was really cool. And then we walked around that area, had some ice cream, and then we walked back, and it was hot, and ice cream wasn't the best, but and then we just got back, and I got Collin's text. I was like, oh good, 8:45, because I just walked to the door and it was 8:20.
See,
Whoops.
you're fine. Fine.
Yeah, so that's what I've been. It is a much needed mini vacation for us, anyways, down here. So that's what my week entailed of work, finding out that I'm still working but not really having a place to work, and then mini vacation
Nice.
and laptop
Very
shop.
nice. Yeah, that's important. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for work purposes, obviously,
I mean, hey,
and
it's
not
fine.
Steam games related.
I mean, if it just happens to have extra space, it's okay.
All the times I googled gaming laptops, Facebook popped up and like, hey, if you're looking for gaming laptops, try this. And I'm like, hey, I know I'm looking at it. You
Googled
can
it. I googled it one time. Stop it.
one time. So that's what Aaron has been doing this week.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been playing BioShock. That's about all I got.
Yeah.
I've been doing that pretty good, actually. Shocking. One of the critically lauded games the last 20 years is good. Man, we saw that coming, right?
Oh, hot take from Brandon here. Put on the 10.
Yeah, hot take. That
Game
one game
everyone
that
said was
really
amazing. It is amazing.
Is you go. For some reason, I just never played it. It's one of those ones where you're like, oh yeah, I'll play that sometime.
That's
Nope.
currently
Never
me
did.
with Breath of the Wild. Like, so we got a Switch, and I was like, oh, I guess I could pop Breath of the Wild in. Like, oh, I guess it's okay. And then like I'm playing it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what everyone's talking about now. Years later, but wow, this is
it's fine.
really cool.
Yeah, this one's really awesome. Atmosphere is really great. I love it. It's very it does a very good job of making you feel like utterly terrified at all times. Because you're like, I have no ammo. I don't know where any health is. It's dark. There's weird noises happening.
Why is that person wearing a bunny mask?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why is that person wearing a bunny mask? Do they see
Yeah.
me yet? Oh, yes, they do. Dang it.
Why is that turret shooting me? Oh yeah, all the good questions with Bioshock.
Yeah, where the heck is that turret coming from? I don't know. I've been doing that. I had a meeting today with the 7th grade science teacher on the phone. We talked about like curriculum things because this is this last year was the first year in a couple years that there had actually been like a 6th grade science class, like a dedicated 6th grade. They had just been like doing it, filling in randomly. So they moved it up. That's why I moved to 6th grade. They're like, you go. I'm like, oh, okay. Teaching dedicated 6th grade science. So we had just to talk about like, what did I do? Because she was basically trying to cover everything in the middle school standards in 7th and 8th grade.
Oh, gee.
Right. Which leads to some extremely abridged things and like trying to cram stuff in there,
Yeah.
So we just talked today about what I did, and like this big chunk here is kind of what I focused on. And she was like, excellent. I don't have to do that. Like, yeah, I got you. So we kind of divided some stuff up and kind of made it make a little more sense. And since my year was truncated, I was like, well, I was also planning on doing some of this. And she was like, okay, that's good, because that's kind of where we do some of that and then move into this. I said, okay, that's good. We kind of just try to figure it out and see where everything was happening so we can both have a better idea of going forward of what, like, I can know better, like what I need to do to prepare for her classes. Like when the kids go to her, like what kind of stuff do they need to know? Am I covering everything? Doing all that stuff. And then at noon, I got a phone call and was like, hey, you want to teach summer school on Monday? It's like,
yes.
Excuse you? Are you kidding me right now?
What on earth? What?
So I'm apparently teaching. I'm teaching summer school on Monday.
What? Okay.
7 o'clock.
What are you
I don't
teaching?
really know what I'm teaching on Monday.
Oh no!
I have no idea.
Uh-oh. Is it
I know that basically I'm teaching kids that were in 5th grade last year going into 6th grade. So I have to try to teach them things that they were supposed to learn in the 4th quarter of 5th grade.
What?
So
is this all the
I know there's
students or just some
so like
of them?
since we didn't have a 4th quarter, it's just some of them. It's whoever shows up. Question mark how many, right? yeah. Question mark number of students.
Okay.
Yeah, I yes, I have many thoughts on this. I don't think I will air them here publicly, but you know, I was a little distressed by a lot of how this was handled.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Unknown number. I mean, I could have said no too, I guess. Full disclosure, I actually said yes. So it wasn't like I was told. I was given the option. And I kind of was just like, well, I'm just sitting at home anyway.
So would it be
nothing.
in person or would it be like over like online?
So it's going to be in person, but like I don't know. They're telling us they're designating us lots of like outside spaces to utilize.
Yeah.
So luckily it never rains in June in Missouri. Oh, wait.
Barn.
So but I don't really know things like how much technology access I have. Right? Because we're a 1-to-1 school, and not to like be all complainy, but like normally during my normal day, during the normal like regular school year, like we use those devices constantly for classwork. Right. And now they're like, I was like, can we like have some? And I got, I don't know, maybe is my answer. And
that means no.
And I'm also like, I mean, I took it as a no, right?
That's a safe bet. Yeah.
I didn't put that in the email. I'll take that as a no then. I probably should have. That would have been good. But I don't know, like that, because like of time constraints, that would be just nice, right? Like, oh hey, bam, 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 we'll do these. Wow, like, so I don't really know. Especially because there's such a big focus on like reading and writing, and like a lot of the writing, the stuff that they were going to do was, because I talked to my friend that's the 5th grade teacher, and she was like, well, we didn't do opinion. And I was like, okay, cool. But like the last time I taught opinion writing, we found a topic and we came up with like lots of research about how to back up our opinion, right? And stuff. And I don't really want to just do an opinion on like why hamburgers are the best. I mean, you know, that's not really very helpful to the writing process. So I don't know. So I gotta try to figure out something with opinion writing. Fractions are big in 5th grade. I know that. Yeah, that's what I got so far. Fractions and opinions.
And their
opinion on fractions go.
Yeah, I was gonna say assignment number 1 before we even get started. Opinion on fractions.
Opinion on fractions. Why are they better than decimals? Because they are. Let's just be real.
Just round everything up to whole numbers. All you need. Um,
It's like, do you want a big, giant, long, ugly decimal, or do you want 7/8? Let's be real. You want 7/8? It's fine.
to the whole number. Can you guys hear this? Hold on.
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Dinging
heard it.
noise? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm playing with my volume, and I was like, "What happens if I turn my volume up? Can they hear that?" It's like,
Yes. Turns out the answer is yes.
okay, I'm done.
Microphones make you hear things. It's crazy. No.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my day. Having a mild panic attack about why did I say yes to this? That was stupid. There's that. Mystery summer school coming in 3 days. So that's
I can't wait to hear how Mystery Summer School goes. For sure.
probably not well. Just give you a little spoiler. A little preview. It's probably gonna go poorly. But we'll see.
Something.
My friend was like, yeah, you can be outside for a lot of time. And I was like, if I go outside for a long time, I would just like roast and become dead. Like there's I will just I will just die of heat stroke if I'm outside too long. So I don't like this is not a bonus. This is not a plus, right? I don't
Sounds nice to some people. However.
So yeah. Not to me. Not when you have like the palest skin ever. You just like, no, not the sun again. Oh, it's so bad.
The sun can come out tomorrow.
Yeah, not now. I don't want to become fried. Like I don't.
Don't be your sunshine.
Extra crispy.
We'll see how this goes. What? I'm probably just gonna cheat and do lots of science things because that's.
So anyway,
so I'll just be like, "Hey, what's 5th grade science about? Yo, let's go."
You can do a lot of like legitimate field science things that you didn't get a chance to.
Well, I don't teach 5th grade anyway, so it's not like I.
Yeah, just get them.
I'm not going to teach them what I didn't get a chance to do because they'd be like, what are you talking about? I'll just jump start to the end of 6th grade. Hey guys, like what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What is this? It'll be fine.
Learn by fire.
Everything will be fine. Yes. Here we go. So, yeah, that's the. I stupidly agreed to teach summer school.
It's pretty much
Monday.
your fault.
Listeners, it's Friday recording this, just by the way. So,
so in 3 days.
Did they just give you like a rounded estimated number of kids? Okay. Did they give any form of warning to students or parents at all?
For other ones, yeah. So like part of the problem was they were gonna have a combined 4th and 5th grade class. But they got too many people. And they needed a place to put there's gonna be too many kids in there. Right? They just got the enrollment went way up the last 2 days. And so I don't know about way up. I don't know what the numbers are total at right now, but the numbers did go up in the last 2 days. So basically they're like, oh, that's too many kids for this one classroom. Hey, how about you? Like, what?
No.
So we'll see. We'll see about that. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. I'm guessing poorly, but only one way to find out.
Dive right in.
Yeah, dive right in, go for it. I also don't know if I can physically get into my classroom where all of my stuff is because of I don't know the state of the floor waxing situation. I don't know if they're done. I don't know if it's still like. Well, my window's on the second floor, so I'd have to do a bit of like Mission Impossibling up there.
Exactly. You're gonna Tom Cruise this thing. Let's do this.
Feasible, I suppose, but I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can get into my room. So like I have stuff,
Eek.
but it's in there, and I don't know if I can get to it because they do the way they do it is they do the rooms and then they do the hallway because they got to pull all the stuff out of the room and put it in the hallway. Where they strip and reseal the floors, right? And then once they put everything back in the room, then they strip and reseal the hallway. And I don't know if they've done that. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they've done the room, but I don't know about the hallway. So I don't know if I can get to the room. So that's an interesting problem. Because I do have some things that we could conceivably do. Like in my file cabinet, right? Because I taught 5th grade a couple years ago. So I have some stuff somewhere, question mark, as to where it could be.
Question mark.
Right.
I'm sure you have it in a perfectly labeled and filed away.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Color coded.
It's shoved in a cabinet somewhere. No. It got shoved in a cabinet somewhere. And so I know where my language arts binders are. Those are all hole punched in binders on a shelf. Boom. Look at that. It did a thing.
See?
But as far as the math stuff, I don't know where the math stuff is. Because the math stuff is a mystery. I really gave a lot of it back to my friend who still teaches 5th grade. And I don't know where the other stuff would be located. So I have language arts things someplace, and I have math stuff. I definitely have like what's the word? Like the practice stuff, like stuff you do after you learn it, and you like the skills practice things and stuff like that. I have that in a big thing somewhere, like a bunch of extra practice material, like activities and stuff. But I don't know where it could be. Probably I think I might know where it is, but again, I don't know if I can get to it. That's a problem.
Are you going to try and go in?
So I definitely can't get to it before Monday. I don't know if I can go in on Sunday and be like, hey, psst, sneak in. Ask around. Hey, can I, possible to go upstairs? So we'll see. I don't know.
Bribing janitors to get past. Good.
Yeah. I just ask him, hey, is it done? Can I get it there?
You should, What
if I take my shoes off? Can I like sneak in? Like
I need to roll.
So yeah. Yes. I'm a moron and actually agreed to this. So partly my fault. But
did they say how long you have to do it though?
I mean, summer school lasts till June 26th.
Oh.
So it's like 4 weeks.
That's a good date for it to end on. It's a solid date. I think that's everyone's favorite date.
I mean, some might say.
Some say.
I don't think it's everyone's
most
favorite
people,
date.
Well, I mean, they're wrong. But most people.
You say only. That's what you say. That's the best date.
The jury's still out on that, but
could be
people.
Worse though. One of my friends one of my other friends that's working summer school, I found out she normally teaches high school history, and I asked her to teach 3rd grade.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No!
I was like, "What are you gonna do?"
No!
I was like, "Holy cow!" I was like, "They probably don't want to know about like World War II, like American history. She teaches like the American history class and like the college. She teaches AP American history.
Oh no.
Like, hey, how about third grade? Like, whoa, what are you doing?
That'd be a hard shift to make. My goodness.
That's a big shift.
Did
That's
she have
a
at least
big shift?
Did she have at least a little bit more heads up than you?
I think a little bit, but I think maybe yesterday that's her. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. Well, she'll be fine. She has 4 days to
her
prepare.
exactly.
Be good.
I was messaging her. Yeah, she's better than me anyway, so it's fine. But this, the biggest problem that I'm going to face is like my like mental area right now is like very far moved away from school, right? It's like mentally,
yeah,
I've been done, right?
Mm.
For the last couple weeks, like school ended a couple weeks ago officially, so I stopped. Boom, shut it down. My brain has like migrated out of school mode, and I'm like, hey, jump back in. So it's really hard for me to shift that gear like that quickly, right? Just like my mental processes be like, school, right? Need school words, like
yeah.
pedagogy, curriculum, blah, like I can't like shift that mental gear quite that quickly. So that's the biggest stress. Like I'm not like mentally prepared
Sure.
to be in a school environment in 2 days. Just because I've kind of shut my brain down. Just because I've been sitting at home. Blah, blah, blah. Ever since school was officially over and I quit emailing people and posting stuff, like I just kind of dumped it out. And now it's like, oh no. Because normally at the beginning of school, you get like a couple weeks to rev up, and then there's all those meetings. You got to sit through, they're terrible, and like get ready. You look over all your stuff and ready, you're in the curriculum, you're looking at it. So you're like mentally ready to go. You're like on the ball, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I don't have any idea what I'm doing. I don't remember anything that the fifth graders do. It's dumped out of there. I like just purged it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were thrown off of your normal schedule,
mental
your
prep
normal rhythm.
Yeah, my normal rhythm of waking up, drinking all the coffee in the world, and playing video games is going to be.
Well, at least one of those can still hold true. I mean, two of those:
Taking
wake up and all the coffee.
Yes, that's true. Make sure the coffee pot at the school's working. Like, no, you don't understand. I need more. It's not. I always get weird looks when I bring my thermos into summer school. When I used to work summer school, I'd be like, "Are you drinking coffee today? It's hot." Yes. Like what? What do you want? I don't know. Answer's always yes. Hot. I can't.
It's not hot in here, so
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Not like drinking it outside. I'm not like at recess. Like, oh man, this coffee though. Mm.
Oh, that'd be so funny. Out watching recess, break out the Stanley thermos, pouring your little cup there on the playground in the beating sun. That'd be quite the picture.
Yeah. I have one of those metal like cups with the lid, right? One of my kids got it for me a couple years ago. I just think it's the best. It's literally the best thing ever. It's great. So I use that all the time. I had the thermos one, and it like all the paint came off of it, and I think they were like, "Yo, that's messed up." So they got me this sweet one, little handle thing. But yeah, drop it all over the place. My old one, it literally fell off the roof of the car and like didn't do anything. It just like bounced on the road and was like, "Oh, it's done." Barely even spilled anything. It's fine.
Nice.
It was great. So Ugh. Yeah, even that's put away. It's under the sink right now. Wash it and put it up. So I got to get that out. See, it's the whole thing. It's the whole process.
Yeah,
Mentally preparing for these things are hard.
It is. It is. Like what you're hearing? Go to obrotherpodcast.com to look at all of our old episodes and make sure that you're subscribed in whatever app you're listening in right now so you never miss a new one. There was actually a webinar for the department.
Yeah, so there you go. Collin.
Yeah. There was actually a webinar for the department recently.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, sorry. Webinar for the department recently.
Yeah, he's not helloing us. I got you.
I have the hiccups. There's a department webinar. Let me start this stupid story for the 15th time. There was a webinar for the department. Oh my gosh. About
the department webinar.
Yeah, so there's this department webinar. I don't know if you heard about it. About getting ready to go back to work. And transitioning. So they had one transitioning to working from home, and they released this one about transitioning back to work. Even though that's not on the cards for us for a while now. And they were covering things like what it's going to be like seeing your coworkers a lot again, and cooler, water cooler talk and all this kind of stuff. And I just thought it was really weird about needing a transition video back to the office, but maybe that's just me.
Mine is going to be what it's going to be like getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning again. What?
Why was this
That's
ever
always
a thing?
my struggle. Like even normally, like when I go back to school, it's really hard for me because my sleep patterns get destroyed really fast. So I don't sleep particularly well, like in general. So those first couple days back of normal school on the meetings, I walk in, I'm just like, I look just dead because I haven't stay up till like 2 o'clock in the morning just because I can't sleep. And you have to get up at 6 to show up to work. You're like, oh my gosh, how?
Not fun.
My body is not functioning properly right now.
Yeah.
No. So that's another problem that I have.
That's one of the hardest problems for me, even though like I technically have to start work at 8. It's usually about like 9:30 until I'm actually coherent
Yeah,
to
like
actually start
yeah.
working. Because even though like I walk 5 feet into my living room, it's like, all right, I'm ready to work. Like I turn everything on, I'm just like, and breakfast. And play my phone. And laptop's still loading. And well, I can't really call people because people are either asleep or they're at work. So I could just wait till like 9 or 10 to actually like work. But I at least get typing done in the morning. But it's like type. Man, I'm tired.
That's okay.
I have to wake up like super late. Like what is this? And I type. And it's like, wow, I'm really tired. And then it's about like 10 o'clock. I'm like, all right, now I'm awake. Let's go. Arr.
It's definitely a problem that I have often. So
we'll
see.
I will send my alarm clocks over to your houses to get you up and going. You don't have to worry. You don't have that problem anymore.
I'm good.
Lily was poking my arm at 5:40 this morning.
We've got the dog alarm rocking. He gets up in the morning. He's like, "No, it's time to go to the bathroom."
Sure.
Now it's like 5 o'clock. You're like, Chuck.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What the heck?
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I think the last time since we've talked last,
alarm has been full strength.
Well, good. Glad he's still going, keeping you spry and young.
Last time we talked,
since last we talked, I went on that. I think I told you I was going to go on that visit with the McKees to walk that property.
Yes, hiking in the wood.
Yes, we did wooded hike. It was really cool. The town of Hartville, not a lot going on. It's not a lot going on.
No.
Population 709. 709.
Wow.
Wow. But the property itself was really pretty. The house was built back in the 80s, and it's an earth contact home, and it's really, really well maintained. And I don't know if I talked about last time, but when I had done some aerial surveys and stuff, I had found that at some point in the 40s, they had channelized and just made a new channel for a portion of the river on the property.
You did mention that.
Yeah, so that part of the property is super awesome because when they built the levee to make the channel, it basically keeps the water up against the hillside and it keeps it wet year round. And so it's this, for the past 70 years, it's been a bottomland, wetland, marsh place that's just really awesome. And yeah, it's really cool. And they have a couple like seasonal springs there that only really flow whenever there's lots of rainfall. But that means that they're seeping out to the ground there. It's got a close connection to the groundwater, and it just stays wet year round with like inches up to a foot of water. That's really, really cool.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
So rice farmers.
That's what I told them.
Perfect.
I did because they don't want to do, so currently the land use is not surprisingly cattle, and they don't want to be in cattle, not surprisingly.
No.
I know, right? I was like, good, because cattle are terrible for the landscape.
Not in Southwest Missouri.
Yeah. So I was like, I did tell him, I said, have you considered rice farming? And they weren't too keen on that, actually.
Yes.
Not surprising.
Fine. It's perfect. They can just hang out with the hogs and the rice.
Right. See, they can get hog wallers down there and get bacon and rice.
Yes. Everyone's favorite combo, right?
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
I've also been attending several online discussions or courses for teaching for digital pedagogy, because
pedagogy,
pedagogy. Yeah, it's all the same. Anyway, because I got put on a committee for digital learning for the department. Because yay, which is fun. So we have our first meeting next week, I think. I don't know really what to expect, but we'll see what happens. Because the department is canceling en masse basically all of their events, because up until now, all of their events were big and in person. If you wanted to take an education course on tree identification, or obviously things like firearms, those will have to still be in person, but trying to see how to move a lot of these functions online, or at least create online versions of them. So that's something that I'm interested in. and it'll be interesting to see what other people think those courses should look like.
Yeah, I don't know, like, because there is a model for a lot of this, right? Because universities doing this for years, right? You can take online classes forever, right? I took a bunch. Right? It's not impossible, right?
Yeah.
It's just sort of shifting the focus on how you present the information. It can make it hard, right? Because you can't. There are certain things that you can't do, right? But I suppose if you, because you can do a lot more stuff live now and have actual question answer interaction that way
Yeah.
through like video streaming things or uh discussion board things. So it's possible, but you have to have you also have to end up having a lot of other material to go with it because you need like stuff to read and like respond to because you're not there listening and doing all that stuff. So
right. Well, and that
you also need to have a lot of other like supplement.
Right. And part of that too is, as you mentioned, like the style of course. So are you going to have it be asynchronous or synchronous interactions or transfer of information from people? And then how do you collect that? How do you collect that? And especially since a lot of the courses that they're looking at are technically more lab based. And so the question there is, how do you translate that well into something? Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. And I just lost my thought. Oh, and I know for me, when I think online classes, I tend to think they're pretty instructor centric. Students show up to be around to be to the instructor to get information and then regurgitate it back. And it's really hard. I think it's really hard to make a good student focused or student centric online class. And so I know that's something that I've been digging into doing a lot of reading and a lot of watching discussions and things like that. Like I just watched one today actually about it was an interview panel from a couple professors across the country about what their transition online looked like and what they're going to be, how they're preparing for the fall. And that was really eye-opening, mostly because just the vast differences in resources and support, not surprisingly, that some universities had versus, others did not. People would say, oh man, it was even things like, oh, it was really tough working with our IT department because they were so busy. And someone would be like, I'm glad you have an IT department.
Yeah, because some universities' IT department is like a bunch of kids, right? And it's like, oh, dang it, this is problem, right? Like, that's why it's not always good because it's like a student thing. I thought it was a Crowder. It was a bunch of kids, right? The IT department was like a dude, and then the rest of the staff was students that were in the computer courses.
Yeah,
were helping with the IT stuff.
That's kind of how it was at NEO, and then at Oklahoma State, you'd think it'd be a lot more, but no, they were literally like a bunch of college students and one really old guy that I couldn't leave because I didn't have the quote unquote appropriate password changed. It's like, no, man, someone could identify that really easily. You gotta use one of these ones that has like the random letters. You can't make your own. I was like, man, I've been going here for 4 years. Like, let me do my thing.
No, man, you got to use one of these ones that I've written down in this book that I keep on my person.
Yeah. Like, wow, Oklahoma
this
State
list of passwords.
They have a whole IT department. No, it's like
this list
2 guys and a college professor.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But
I think the thing that you gotta side note, like the other thing about the IT department, like our school doesn't really have one at the moment, right? We have the business teachers are kind of they handle a lot of the hardware, right? Like they give out the devices, and if the devices do something weird, they help you.
Sure.
That's it. That's our IT department. We had it was the main IT guy was our superintendent, and then he left. So that was cool. But our our system is it's very like cobbled together with like strings and tape and wire, right? And it's all just so weird. The guy that put it in a long time ago was one of those guys who was like, well, I'm the only one that knows how to do this, so they have to keep me around, right?
Oh no.
He's the one that put all it in there. And he put it all in there all wonky, kind of on purpose as some sort of like bizarre job security thing.
Sure.
And then he got fired.
Dun dun dun.
So like this was years ago, by the way. So it's been taken years. It's still like sometimes the maintenance guy will, because he helps with it, because he knows where the wires are and he runs a lot of stuff through the ceiling and all that stuff. Sometimes he'll still come in and he'll be like, "You'll never guess what I found today." Like, what the heck?
Oh no. That's
Are you serious? What in the world?
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, he was one of those dudes who's like, "Oh yeah, I'll fix it," but he mostly spent time like playing weird games on the computer. It was, he wasn't actually doing anything.
Well, no way would it. Well, and
He's
so
like, "Yeah, I'll set that printer up for you on the network," and then like never heard from him again.
Yeah.
Dig.
And by set up, I mean walk away. And so I think about that. That's like approaching this from a different perspective of, okay, like what tools does the department have at its disposal to make this kind of thing work? And like we have our IT department is vast and really varied in their expertise, but we've got a lot of things at our disposal. Like they're constantly, the department itself runs a lot of their own servers and does a lot of customized in-house stuff just to make the department work. And so trying to leverage that instead of just going, okay, what are some, what's the basics? What are the minimums? And do we have to use those and to get a good experience? And so I know I'm going to be learning a lot about the ins and outs of that stuff coming up, and I'm excited about that.
Collin's gonna be coding the whole system before you know it. He's really like, "Yo guys,
no,
check this out."
Because again, there are people with I mean, the department has people on hand who have master's degrees and PhDs in this kind of stuff in their IT department, to run everything. So I'm if I am doing back end stuff, things have gone wrong very quickly. If I'm coding for the server, just someone file all of the complaints. So yeah, that's
true.
It'll be interesting. It'll be fun.
It'll be something.
It won't be anything that I hope it will be.
I know that the biggest problem that we ran into just as a school district is just internet access. It's just not there for distance learning, like in our district, right?
Well,
like it just isn't accessible to an extremely large number of people. I think a lot of people just take it for granted, like, "Oh yeah, I got internet." A lot of people get it on their phone, but like it doesn't. That's not good enough for a lot of this stuff, right? It either doesn't work right because the bandwidth is too crammed up, like the phone companies like compress everything,
or it's a mobile browser
bandwidth. That's a whole nother story.
Doesn't
but like,
yeah,
and it doesn't support. You design it on a desktop, whatever, and it doesn't support mobile browsing, so you can't use it. Right? That's another problem. The integration of the devices is not there. So just the big problem that we ran into is, well, do you have internet access anywhere? But no, we just don't. I have lots of kids who just don't have it.
Yeah. And I know that
And
the department as a whole, like if we're
mean,
just being honest, their clientele, their customer is predominantly people who don't have internet access. You know, like that's going to be
a lot of them don't have it either.
Yeah, that's going to be a big thing that we're going to struggle with. Is do you create one experience?
Right?
Yeah,
they don't have internet.
No. Yeah. Do you try and create just one experience?
And in Hartville, no one's got internet out there.
No, nobody has that there. So it's yeah. That'll be again, I'm excited to see what we can come up with, but not hopeful. Very pessimistic about this.
I mean that's kind of the same thing from our state departments. Like, well, if you can set up Zoom conferences with some of your clients, I was like, have you been out to some of these people's homes? Like, when you ask them, like about utilities, like, no, we get water from a well, and we have electric that we bum off the neighbor. I was like, so do you guys have internet? Like, nope, haven't had it for 20 years.
They don't even have phone service out some of those
yeah. So yeah, the whole State Department was like, or for Oklahoma, was like, oh, if you can do teleworking with your clients by giving them Zoom access for your meetings, like that's not no. Because I asked the customer about FaceTime, and they're like, "What's that?" I was like, "Yeah, see, there you go.
Just kidding.
Way to stay disconnected, state. Appreciate you."
Even here in this part of the right, there's areas in Berry County where your phone will not work. You just nope, sorry. Right, you get up back down south here into those mountains, right where it starts being Ozark Mountain. Good luck. Right, you ain't get phone signal out there. You crazy? So like, that's where some of our kids live. Right, I've been to some of their out there. No,
right,
no fun, nothing. So just the access to all that stuff, I think a lot of people take that for granted, and that it's just everywhere. It is very widespread, and it's always growing. It's becoming more widespread all the time, but in a lot of instances, it's just not there. It's just not. It doesn't exist. And that's the other thing you got to think about is, well, can people access information if we move it to only this online space?
Right. And then, like as we discussed, even then, once they're online, is everybody having the same experience online? Of how does internet speeds impact this? How does mobile browsing impact this? How do whatever impact how they're receiving this information? So, yeah, that's something big that's coming up.
Well, that just sounds exciting. Just kidding.
Something not really. Really not. Really bad. Really bad.
That's just me though. That kind of logistical thinking is like, okay, I'm out. I'm good. I don't. It's not my area, right? It's not where I want to.
Right. Well, and I'm approaching it from the like maximizing the impact that whatever we have is delivered in the best way to get the most out of it. And honestly, like most of the stuff that I'm looking at as far as lists goes, it's like this should not be online. This really shouldn't. And so how do you take that kind of content that really should not be online and make it suitable?
Like your canoe trips.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Great.
Like how you can
Great example. Great example. How do you take a canoe trip to do diagnostic, studies and do that online? And it's like, well, I guess you could like strap a GoPro 360 on a canoe and go rafting and play it back slowly. And it's like, no, that's not the point. I'm not trying to show you a river. I'm trying to have you tell me what you see on a river, right? Like it's just so
exactly. And you lose a lot of the depth of field details in the camera shots, so makes it hard.
Right. Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff.
Although I do like the image of you. I like the image of you canoeing down with like 7 GoPros mounted all over the place, just like shouting randomly.
Yeah. No, apparently,
I like that image.
Which should be kind of funny. Apparently, at one point in time, they did try and do that. They did try and raft and canoe the river with a camera on it, but this was 20 years ago. They had the idea to try and do this because they were...
That camera looks a lot different.
Yes, which is what problem they ran into, because they were like, oh, the battery doesn't last very long and we have to keep changing the film out, and it's heavy as all get out.
Exactly.
But they were
now,
trying...
You get those little shock mounts. You could put like 6 GoPros plus the helmet one, right?
Yeah,
you'd be fine. You'd be good to go.
See? Which, is again, like, if we've got to do it, okay, like, that's just what we'll do, but we'll try and make the best of it. So
editing all those together would be a nightmare.
Not my job. Like... We have media professionals in the department. I'll just show up to them soaking wet, muddy, and smelly and be like, put these together, make this coherent. I gotta go.
Hand them a bag of cameras.
Yeah.
You guys go by. Like, what the heck is that?
Bag of muddy, wet GoPros. Say, edit it, and run away.
No. No. This is a great visual image. Right? Like mental image of this happening.
Goodness. Well,
it's wonderful.
It's something, that's for sure. Probably gonna need to...
Well, it sounds like no one has anything else, so...
Yeah, I was just about to say, probably gonna turn in for the night, because it... Unless you have a game
yes,
to play.
Please.
Okay.
I'll save my questions for next time.
Oh no. Yeah, I think move those to the top of the list. Those will answer those first things. We won't even ask how each other's weeks have gone, because we've gone on far too long this time. But we'll
him.
We'll do that. Okay. Questions for next time.
Okay, got him waiting, ready to
go. Challenge accepted. Wait, that's not a challenge. Never mind.
To go. Not really.
How does this work?
Goofiness.
Okay. Well, guys, have a good week.
Well, let you go. It's getting late, we know. And
yeah,
we'll see.
Bizzar.
Not looking forward to this.
Yeah, I am very excited to hear how this goes for you. Yep, survive. That's all.
Yeah. See.
Good luck. Love you guys.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.